Terrence Wise is a 34-year-old who works 50 to 60 hours in two fast food jobs to help support his fiancée and three kids. He has worked at Burger King for 9 years and now makes $9.40 an hour. After working at Pizza Hut for 3 years, he makes $7.47 an hour.
A lot of people say, well, you work at Burger King, you make $9.40 an hour. And I've been there for 9 years, I tell them. And a lot of my coworkers come in and start at $7.35, and they really think that I have it really good. So I'm struggling. I was homeless. I've lost my home last year. We bought our first home. I had even went to members of management, like I was getting 35, 40 hours a week, paying my mortgage, paying my bills, and now that I've been slashed, I'm possibly going to lose my home if I don't get more hours or better pay. And it didn't change. And I ended up being homeless with my three little girls and my fiance.
Pastor Donna Simon of St. Mark Hope and Peace Lutheran Church says she has low-wage workers in her congregation that are struggling.
I have low-wage workers in my congregation. I have people who do home care. I have a guy who works at a nursing home, and all of them just struggling to get by. Working, and one of them working and doesn't have hot water in his house. People who work full-time should have hot water.
Wise says that while he works 2 jobs, he still does not make enough to support his family and has to rely on government assistance.
Well, I work about 50 to 60 hours a week. Up until today, when I went on strike, I've worked 26 straight days without an off day. And we bear the constant burden of worrying about, we have 3 little girls, we have to prepare for college, we have to start saving, but it's really impossible when you're stretching checks just to make ends meet. And I know you probably heard of the recent studies. We do receive Medicaid for kids and food stamps. And this is, when you look at the total picture, I work 2 jobs, she works full time. There's no reason we should have Medicaid and be relying on food stamps when we're working for companies and getting up every day and going to work and doing our part.
Todd Appleby, Jobs for Justice, which is a coalition to fight for financial equality for all working people, says there are 29,000 fast food workers in the Kansas City area, with the average age being 30 years old, who just make minimum wage.
They're trying to form a union and get a fair living wage. That's all they want. We have people that are working 60 and 70 hours a week at these low-wage jobs. They work, 2 to 3 restaurant jobs, and they still can't pay the light bill. The money's, it's not enough for them to live on. So we're just wanting a living wage.